Hey YouTube! So I am here to record a video review of The Haves and the Have-Nots Season 4 or 5, whatever you prefer. Either way, the episode was episode 15 and it was titled A Woman Under the Stairs. And as we all are familiar with, that woman is the Veronica Harrington, Mrs. Devil in the Red Dress herself, Mrs. Attorney at Law, Evil Mother times 10, Mommy Dearest, the Ice Queen, Veronica Harrington. Okay, so if we start, it starts off where it left off, and she has just eavesdropped over the conversation between Justin and Jeffrey. Now, as we all know, she was not too fond of this conversation because it was kind of getting intimate. It was revealing like way too many details that she didn't need to know, but she will use it against Justin now. So, detail number one, oh, you're married. So that's something major that she has against him. She reveals to him that she heard everything purposely. She's purposely hiding under the stairs. Second of all, she pointed out that this could also be a case of sexual harassment. So that's when Mrs. Attorney at Law, Veronica Harrington, comes out. So, of course, we know that Mr. Download, I mean, he's so, like, arrogant. He's just like, whatever, lady, you don't know who you're messing with, okay? You don't know me. She's like, well, allow me to introduce myself, okay? She starts shooting off question after question after question after question, and like it's as if they were in a courtroom and he was on the stand under oath, like he was gonna tell the truth. Yeah, right. So she's like, ask him all these questions. He's like, hold up, swole up, what are all these questions about? And so she's like, well, I've had cops just like yourself on the screen not on the screen, but on the stand several times before, okay? And I've crushed them all. I mean, just straight murdered them. You're not ready for me, trust me. I am the Veronica Harrington. He was like, look, lady, I don't know what you heard, but you didn't hear nothing, okay? And then she was like, I know what you was trying to do to my son, sexual harassment. Does your wife know about your unnatural, perverted lifestyle? You know, like she really likes to dig under the skin with her insults. And so he's like, come again? I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. Like, don't make me spell it out for you. He was like, look, lady, okay? My wife is on your case, okay? She is the judge on your case, so you might want to stop. And then he was like, you know, the same case that your son is involved in, that he could speak against you on the stand. And she's like, well, thank you for all the extra information. I mean, really, you're just like, you're flattering me with all of your information. Actually, I'm glad that I do know that because tomorrow morning I will go down to the station and I will have her, or the courthouse, and I will have her removed as the judge from my case. You know, conflict of interest since her husband is sleeping with my son. And he's like, excuse me? You don't ever say I'm sleeping with a man again. She was like, hold up. Like, I got this information like straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, so yeah, I got my notes, okay? So he is just like, he's like, look, lady, you got one more time. You don't know who I am. And she's like, no, you don't know who I am, okay? We're not going to have this encounter again. Plain and simple, you stay away from my son. And that's that. So of course, he gets like heated, furious, and just like walks out. Now, as we all know, there's no cameras in this stairwell. So, I mean, if he was really about that life, like he could have got rid of her and nobody would have known at that point. But it's probably kind of smart that he didn't, because I'm sure there are like cameras near the stairwells, like where she entered into the stairs, and when he entered out, they could have figured it out. So, you know, he didn't act off of emotion. So that was good because he's usually in his emotions. Okay, next thing you know, we have a scene with Jim and David. So, of course, Jim is like running through the halls, not running, but rushing through the halls, trying to find out like where his son is. He needs information because he found out Wyatt is in the hospital. So finally, they run into Jeffrey. Of course, David is like, oh, Jeffrey, I'm so happy to see you. I mean, I got something to talk to you about. And Jim is like, where's my son? And Jeffrey is like, so what had happened was, and he's like, where's my son, Jeffrey? I'm not kidding. I'm his father. Where's my son? I mean, he's like real aggressive in his tone at this moment. And it's like, dude, you're going to have to calm down because I really don't want to help you if you're going to be hostile like this. Like, this is why I don't want you to see him, because you be on 10 and I need you to bring it down to like a 2, really like a 0.5, and why it's conditioned, because he can't handle all this extra. Like, this is what makes him like snap. Like, this is a trigger for him, and this sends him right back into a drug-induced state. Okay, so let's just not do that. Okay, this is why you can't see him. He's like, what do you mean you're not going to tell me where he is? That is my son. Okay, I need to see my son. I haven't seen my son in all of this time. He is all I have left. I need to see my son. I mean, he's really emotional, and you can tell that like he is like displaying all this as like anger towards Jeffrey, but really he's just frustrated at like what he keeps going through with Wyatt, and how at one point he thought he was dead, but he's actually alive. And then for him to go through this again, it's just like so much. And he's like, this is overwhelming. Okay, I need to see my son. I mean, I know he's a grown man, but to me, like, he's just a child. He's my kid. Okay, so, you know, David is like, you know what, that is his son. You know, Jeffrey, just tell him. Just please tell him. So, like, Jeffrey is hesitant to do so, but he goes ahead and like gives him like the information for the room as to where his son is. And Jim is thankful in that moment, because he's like, I know you didn't want to tell me, but I promise I won't cause any additional harm. Okay, so then at that point, Jim goes to go see Wyatt. Anna is in the room. He's like, who are you? And she's like, I'm his rehab specialist or whatever. And then he's like, rehab? And she's like, yeah, he called us. And she's like, is he gonna be okay? And well, that's what Jim said to Anna. And she's like, yeah, we'll just watch it, we'll see how it goes, but he's gonna get better in this moment. But we're gonna really watch his progress. At least he contacted us. And he's like, well, can I have a moment alone with my son? She's like, I don't think that's a good idea. He's like, look here, I went through this with Jeffrey already, okay? Just give me a quick 2 seconds with him. I just need this time with him. She was like, sir, it took us a lot of time to get him to sleep. Like, please, like, I can't, I don't want to, like, get him back to that state where he was before. And he's like, I promise you it'll be real quick. I need this time with my son. So she excuses herself from the room. And at that moment, like, that was like one of like the first real genuine moments you've seen in Jim ever since probably Amanda died, his daughter, where he was just like kind of like let all of his guards down and his evilness for a moment, like took off like his handkerchief or something and like wiped Wyatt's head just like he was a little baby, like he was his little boy, and like gave him a kiss on the forehead and was like, you know what, it's gonna be okay, like you're gonna make it. And it was just like, you know, sometimes it's good to see those ice cold characters in a totally different light. I haven't seen that in Veronica, like this entire series actually, but you know, maybe one day it'll come. But anywho, so that's over and done with. So David is in the hallway with Jeffrey, so he finally gets to confront Jeffrey about Candace's accusations. Well, Jeffrey just goes ahead and spills the beans. Like, look, I did it, okay? I didn't mean to do it, but it just happened that way. And you don't know, like, Quincy, like, he was an evil dude for real. Like, and like, I went into Candace's apartment, he was trying to attack her. Like, once I got, like, you know, a sharp object in my hand, like, I did it to my mama. Like, I did it to Quincy as well. So dude beat me up before, and really, like, I was just feeling some type of way about that, and I really can't control my anger when it gets to that point. So, you know, I just got him a few good million times. So yeah, he's dead. And then so David was like, why didn't you call me? He was like, I didn't want to get you involved. David's like, not getting me involved is getting me involved. And then he was like, well, why didn't you call the police? Well, Candace said it was a crime of passion. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, where is he now? Okay, well, Benny buried the body in the backyard. And then the police dug it up and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh my gosh. So how are you going to get out of this? He was like, it's okay. Mom's going to get us out, because at the time they dug up the body, the house was no longer in Candace's possession. It was property of the bank. So they're going to have to throw the body out anyway, because anything that they found at that point is inadmissible in court. So he's like, dang, that might really just work. I mean, your mama, she is an ice queen, but she kind of smart too. So, you know, whatever the case, he's like, okay, Jeffrey, don't worry about any of this. You go home. I'm going to get this all taken care of. Your name is going to get cleared. And then so he's like, what home I'm going to go to? Like, you know, like, oh, girl, a.k.a. your ex-wife, a.k.a. my evil mother, put me out of my place. So where I'm going to go? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go to a hotel. Okay, cool. So, da 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 da. Oh, he also asked about, in that conversation, he asked about Melissa, and Jeffrey told him like she's not doing good, and he's like, you know what, we were like really good friends of her parents, and I just, I can't believe that it turned out this way. And I'm like, David, okay, just something ain't quite right with you, because I don't understand how you were good friends with her parents, but yet you didn't know her last name. Like, Melissa wasn't married, so she didn't have a new last name, okay? Like, she still had her maiden name, which would be her parents' last name. So why did you not know her last name to go see her in the hospital? And at that point, if you really wanted to see Melissa, then why don't you just ask Jeffrey what room she was in? That's simple, okay? So stop acting like you fake care. Okay, whatever. Catherine and Hannah, I kind of hate their scenes because, it's just like, let's move forward, okay? But anyways, Catherine is still taking care of Hannah and, making sure she's eating and all these things, even though Hannah isn't hungry. Hannah is freaking out, like, how am I going to do these funeral arrangements? I remember when Amanda died and they were asking you, like, her favorite color, favorite flower, all of that. You was able to answer those questions. Look, my grandson just came into my life. He's in and out that quick. I don't know anything about him, like, nothing, like, pertinent like that. I just know he liked toys or whatever. She said, okay, well, we can work with that. That's what Catherine was saying. You know what? I will get this all under control. I'll pay for everything. Don't trip, girl. We cool. And I'm like, you need friends like that. Okay. So Hannah then calls Benny while she's there. Mitch answers the phone. Mitch is still like going straight by the plan. Like, no, Benny isn't around right now. He's busy. He went to go do yada, yada, yada. He can't come to the phone right now, but I will have him call you back. Hannah is just so emotionally overwhelmed. She's like, okay, whatever. So she still doesn't know he's in jail. Okay, so then we see Candace. So Candace is at her hotel, and of course she has like connecting rooms with Great Value Obama. So she opens up the adjoining doors, and his two little kids are out there. They look so cute. They're so pleasant, and like they're just like real happy in that moment. So she's kind of like building like a warm place in her heart. So she's like playful with them and talking to them, and they're like, you're so pretty. Are you going to vote for my dad? And she's like, yeah, he's a great guy, blah, blah, blah. Then his kids leave to go off to school. She's like, no photo ops? He's like, no, my kids are serious to me. Like, that's private family time. She's like, great, okay, so now nobody's around, so what you going to do for me, basically? They flirt back and forth. They're a little like, like they are very indirect with one another, and then it turns into something direct. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but they like tease each other until finally she's like, okay, well, take off your clothes. Okay, so we all know what that leads to. Like, they ended up doing the getting down with the get down. I think that Candace is kind of developing feelings, which is interesting because the last person that played her was Oscar, and she really developed feelings for him. So Candace, like, maybe this escort game, this con game is just not working for you, because maybe you really do want to get emotionally attached to someone, but whatever. Okay, so next thing you know, they're having pillow talk. She's taking selfies. Y'all, sorry, that's my little baby. She's taking selfies with him, and he's like, what are you doing? She's like, well, a girl always has to have backup plan insurance. She's like, why aren't you worried about me with the camera and all this stuff? Hey, Arya, you cannot be loud, okay? Okay, just come sit by mommy so I can finish. Y'all, this is why I record my videos in the car sometimes, okay? But anyway, so here come the children. Come on. You want to be in the video? You going to be quiet? Yeah, I'm sorry. Come on. Is this my baby? Here. You can't talk, okay? Okay.
Mommy, Mommy, I'm going.
Hey, are you pretending to be me? Okay, I told you can't talk if you're going to be on camera.
Okay.
Okay, so this video is gonna be cut real short, real quick. Hey, stop. Okay, so they're having pillow talk, and she's like, "Why aren't you nervous or afraid?" Stop, Nyla. Okay, bye. Woosah. Okay, yeah. Life with 2 kids under 3. Okay, whatever. Okay, so anyways, cutting this short, they have pillow talk, and she's like, "Why are you not intimidated by me and the cameras and all that? Like, you really should move around a little better than what you're doing, because you could get caught up by anybody." And so he's like, "No, I'm not nervous about anything." Then he was like, "You don't know me, do you?" She was like, "Yeah, I mean, you're a nice, easygoing guy, like, too, like, trusting of people, but I mean, you're from a small town, whatever, you got 2 kids. Yeah, I know you pretty well." And then he was like, "No, you don't know me." Then he says, "Victor or Vincent? Let's go with Victor." Then he says, "Victor, I need you." And I'm like, what is he talking about? And he was like, "Victor, I need you." And I'm thinking, dude, like, do you have multiple personalities? Like, are you, like, channeling another, like, person inside of you? Next thing you know, I mean, the Men in Black come out of nowhere, like, out of all doors and all angles, like, "Yes, sir, what do you need?" Like, and I'm like, dude, like, I did not expect this. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're like, "You are under arrest for being a terrorist. You're wanted for murder." Like, all this stuff. I'm like, what? Like, I did not expect this of Great Value Obama. I mean, he's a good actor. Like, in the show. Like, bravo. Because I didn't, like, I figured, like, maybe he got something up his sleeves. But I didn't think he had the Men in Black on deck. Okay, so Candace is like floored. Like, really, she's gotten herself like way in over her head, like way more than she can handle. Exactly what Oscar told her. And I'm like, girl, I don't know how you're gonna get out of this one. But anyways, it ends on a very confusing note, which I didn't too much appreciate, because usually the last part of the episode has me like gasping for breath, but not so much with this episode, because it's Benny at the police station and they're like, "Actually, you're not under arrest for the murder of Quincy Maxwell." And he's like, "Okay, so I can go. So what am I here for?" And he's like, "No, you're here for questioning." "Well, I'm not answering no questions, so I may as well go. Like, my lawyer ain't here." He's like, somebody else walks in, "Actually, we're here to get your DNA." "For what?" "Maybe for the murder. We're here to get your DNA because you are a threat to the future president of the United States." He was like, "Bruh, what? Like, I don't even know the future president of the United States. Like, hold up. Y'all got me mixed up with somebody. Like, y'all trying to, like frame me or something." Like, I was so confused. Like, what does he know? He's never met Great Value Obama. Like, that's Candace. Like, are y'all, like, looping him in with Candace again? Like, is he going to be a bargaining chip? I don't understand, but whatever. I guess we'll find out on Tuesday. But anyways, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out at mrsblogaholic.com. Bye.